Okay, say you're a regular working guy. You have a job. You make enough to live and buy yourself up the right things to survive and live a happy life. But as you walk by, you see a person, a homeless person, who doesn't look like he have a few bucks to his name. Okay, what do you do for him?
Why do I think there's poverty in the world? It's a good question,
Income inequality, the gap between the haves and the have-nots in our society is enormous, bigger than it ever has been in history.
Because there are people, there are several reasons. First of all, there are worldwide some people that want wealth so much they achieve it, and more than others. In other words, the desire for wealth is not universal.
It doesn't do to have a world where everyone is supplied everything they need. You need to have people who don't have enough and who are yearning for something, because that's what makes the machine work. Well, I don't know if it's necessary. Well, I mean, it's one of the side effects, I'm sure, but I just think that
obviously the economy plays a major role. Some people can't afford the food.
I mean, but it drives back to the economic state of the person, which leads to poverty. And with poverty, there becomes homelessness, drug addiction.
Some people are out of work.
I think there's poverty because I think that most people are able, at least people that I know, are able to sort of compartmentalize their lives and kind of focus on what's happening to them and their immediate family and friends.
I mean, we have one of the highest unemployment rates right now, and in some cases I think it's also education, in the sense that people don't always know where they can go to get help.
So if they're not experiencing it on a personal level, it's not as important an issue for them.
I think it's a combination of the economy, maybe a lack of education.
The second problem is that we don't share. In other words, people who create the wealth, they do it for selfish reasons.
Poverty is embedded in some cultures. Social reproduction, you can go to some neighborhoods and you can see kids who are no better off than their parents, who are no better off than their parents.
it's sort of like the carrot effect, like when they've got a horse with a thing with the carrot dangling.
Oh, yeah.
And the horse is like, I need this. Instead of just giving the horse the carrot and letting it eat the carrot in leisure, you've got to promise it a carrot and make it work for it.
Because there's so much damn corruption.
So they don't share it with those people who don't have it. Even though, and then you would say, okay, why is that? Well, there's racism, sexism, nationalism. Those are the three top isms that there are. I mean, if you think about it, that pretty much covers everything.
There's corruption in the government, there's corruption in companies, there's corruption in people.
Big business and corporate ownership of the factors of production is crushing the underclass as well as the working class and middle class, like the thing in Wisconsin, Ohio, the Midwest.
I think that some people make way too much money, and I think that it doesn't actually trickle down. And I think it has a lot to do with class and race, and some people are born into poverty, and then that just keeps it going.
Second, we have people who are at different levels of development, and because they're at different levels of development, they don't know enough to build the resources to create more wealth for themselves.
That is a very difficult question.
My definition of wealth is really more like happiness. I think a person, I don't necessarily think that wealth is a huge bank account or, you know, a lot of money.
It's having resources to solve problems, your own and those of others. It doesn't mean monetary. Yeah, I mean, wealth is definitely, I mean, most people kind of categorize it in that way.
My definition of wealth is the ability to afford that which you need to do more than survive.
My personal definition of wealth? I don't think it has anything to do with money. It has to do with the people in the community around you.
I think in this country, wealth is probably people who just don't have to worry about where they're going to get food and sleep.
So afraid of yours, that's your straight voice and you came up short.
To live comfortably, to travel, to enjoy a basic standard of living that the industrialized world has established.
I mean, personally, when I consider my wealth, I take into consideration my family and my friends and health, you know.
Just having clothes, being able to give clothes to somebody, that's a form of wealth, you know, to have a categorization to say that only money, only this thing that's printed by our government as an idea of wealth is real wealth is, I think, a real fallacy. It's something we need to move past.
My definition of wealth is basically is when you are financially stable, when you're not like, don't live under your means, but don't go over your means either. When live within your means, I guess.
You know, I think there's financial wealth. I think that there's a wealth of happiness.
Yeah, I mean, I live in a capitalist country that, you know, where people are taught that buying things makes you happy, where everybody's out for themselves, and that's what's seen as a virtue. And yeah, I think it's a real shame.
So is it always, like, does it always have to do with money?
No, I think it's like, you can be like wealthy in the sense like you have friends, family who love you. You know, as long as you're happy doing whatever you do, I think that's wealth.
All the drums, last call, gonna take whatever comes. Barely trust them, they're all puppets. Love is nothing, scared of success. 1 for the bar tab, 2 for the shine.
Yes and no.
Well, it's not an obligation, but I feel like it's a duty. You know, I mean, they're not obligated to help them, but it's nice if they do.
Yeah, I think people should help the poor and stuff, but honestly, like, there's a bunch of shit that's fucked up in the world, and then...
I do very much so.
No one has an obligation to do anything. Well, because you know, life is full of options. It's your option.
And like, as a country, I feel that, you know, in order to like progress ourselves, we got to take care of each other.
It's like... how can I put this? It's like, sometimes it's like the problem. It's like, yeah, you could be like, rally everybody to like, start something up and help people, but then there's like underlying shit that needs to be addressed.
Rich people got up there because who they did, who knows what. Those people on the street, they have the opportunity to get to the hill where they want to go. Like, if you need it, my ass got my school paid for, I didn't sign shit saying, oh, I'm broke as hell, can I get some free tuition? Hell yeah. So, I mean, I see it, I'm like, I don't care.
You know, we all have to do something in society. And in order to I want social elevation for poverty, for people who are homeless. I'm saying that everyone should have the right to have a job and you know, make their money and have a home and a decent way to live. I mean, if we don't take care of everyone else, I mean, how are we going to move as a country unified?
Sometimes I'm like, yes, like, you know, you may want to help people, at the same time, you know, you can't help everybody. Hell no, that shit, my ass broke and I'm making it and no one helped my ass. Why the hell should I help someone else?
Okay, let me go back one. I will make donations to the poor and, you know, I bring my clothes. I always give all my stuff away. I never sell it. I never do. I always just donate it.
I think that in order to fix it, you have to have higher taxes. You have to tax the people that are the top income earners at a.
But I don't think that it's going to get by just by giving something to somebody on the street. I think you have to do it. You have to make sure we do it through our tax system.
Change the whole ideology behind your questionable practices.
Tax the rich. Yeah, definitely. I think that there needs to be a limit on how much you can profit off things.
Changing your individual lifestyle, simplifying, not focusing so much on personal belongings.
You have to make sure that not just the taxes are collected, there's a lot of that going around, but that the taxes go to help those people that need it. And not only that, how do you do it? By making sure that everybody, at every level of the educational spectrum, is able to work in some kind of way.
Oh yeah, you have to change lifestyle. You have to change people's minds and shit too. You have to change like your freaking consciousness of the people before you could like just start like inciting like real change and stuff. Cause that's like where real change starts. I feel like is within your minds and stuff and within people's minds. So.
But it requires awareness. That's why I was saying put this damn video on YouTube.
And just being more generous of spirit. I mean, I know that doesn't solve the problem, but I do think that the more we sort of open our hearts to the problems of other people, even if we're not experiencing it ourselves, the more we're able to give when needed.
You have to change behavior first.
I think until there's a shift in the public mindset where people do want to tax those that are the top 1% of income earners in the country at a much higher tax rate, then we're probably going to be about where we're at now.
That's right. That's how you do it. Communicate the message.
You know, and we can't move ahead if everyone else, if someone else is living on the street.
I need a dollar, dollar, dollar. That's what I need. Hey, hey. Well, I need a dollar, dollar, dollar. That's what I need. Hey, hey. Said I need a dollar, dollar, dollar. That's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me? Bad times are coming, and I reap what I done sowed. Hey, hey. Well, let me tell you something. All